Now, to solve quadratic equation, you can solve quadratic equation either by factorization method, as I told you in our earlier clip. You can also solve it by completing the square method, and you can solve it using the quadratic formula. Now, let me quickly show you how to solve the quadratic equation through factorization method. But for more about factorization of quadratics, you can join our factorization video class to have more explanation on that. Now look at some examples of a quadratic equation that we can solve through factorization method. Now we are going to pick one of these, and I will show you how to solve quadratic equation through factorization method. Let's pick the number 7. This d square minus 5d plus 6 equals to 0. Now in factorization method, let's solve d square minus 5d plus 6 equals to 0. Now we have to factorize this first. Now I want to show you how to factorize quickly. Now you look for the factors of 6 that can give you minus 5. That is what you can multiply together to give you plus 6, and at the same time you can add together to give you minus 5. Let's look at some factors of plus 6. You can see that we have 2 times 3 here. 2 times 3 will give us 6. But plus 2 and the plus 3 will not give you 6. It will rather give you plus 5. We have minus 2 times minus 3. Minus 2 times minus 3 will give you plus 6. Wherefore minus 2 minus 3 will give you minus 5. We have minus 6 times minus 1 that will give you 6. Which minus 6 minus 1 will give you minus 7. And we have 6 times 1 to give you 6. And plus 6 plus 1 will give you plus 7. Now you can see that these are all factors of 6. But it is only minus 2 minus 3 that can add up to minus 5 here. So the factors of the product of 6 that we use to factorize this to give us this minus 5 is minus 2 minus 3. So in place of minus 5d, you will now have d square minus 2d minus 3d plus 6 equals to 0. Now instead of saying minus 5d, we now split it into minus 2d minus 3d. It is minus 2d minus 3d that will give us minus 5d, and this minus 2d minus 3d is derived from this 6. Now we now factorize it. We bring out what is common to these d and 2d. It is d that is common to d and the 2d. So we have d here. Now we have 1d left and we have 2 left. So we have d outside here and we have d minus 2. So if you can see now that if we multiply this d by this d, we have this d square. If we multiply this d by this 2, we have minus 2d. So we come to this place. What is common to minus 3d plus 6? It is minus 3 that is common. So we have minus 3 outside the bracket. Now we have d left here and minus 2 left. Now if you multiply minus 3 minus 2 minus 3 times minus 2, it will give you this plus 6. Now this one now give us 0. Now we now take one of these. You see that this d minus 2 and d minus 2 here is the same. You take one of it, one d minus 2, and you bring out this d minus this 3. Now this d minus this 3 and one of these d minus 2 will give us 0. That is the factorization. So we have been able to factorize to get d minus 3, d minus 2 equals to 0. Now, from our earlier explanation, d minus 3, d minus 2 equals to 0 implies that it's either d minus 3 equals to 0 or d minus 2 equals to 0. Now, if d minus 3 equals to 0, then d equals to 3. And if d minus 2 equals to 0, d equals to 2. So that is how to solve quadratic equation using factorization method. Let's look at how to solve the quadratic equation using the complete the square method. Now you have to pay more attention to understand this other method called complete the square method. Now solve the equation x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals to 0. Now this is x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals to 0. You take this 3 to this right hand side to give us x squared minus 8x equals to minus 3. Don't forget that we are not solving through factorization method. If it is factorization method, as I explained earlier, we just look for the factors of 3 that can give us minus 8. But in most cases where we use complete the square method, if you don't have the factors of 3 that can give you minus 8, then factorization method is not suitable. Therefore, you use either formula or complete the square method, which I'm going to show you now. Now you take this 3 to this side to give us 8, to give us x squared minus 8x equals to minus 3. Now what you do now is that you add the square of half coefficient of x to both sides. Let me come again. You add, once you get it in this form, you now add, this is the coefficient of x, 8 is the coefficient, that is minus 8 is the coefficient of x, not the coefficient of x squared. You now add half the square of the coefficient of x to both sides. Now half of 8 is 4 and the square of 4 is 16. Therefore you add 16 to both sides. Don't forget, you add the square of add half coefficient of x to both sides. Now let me repeat myself. The half of the coefficient of x, which is 8, is 4. Now the square of 4 is 16. You add the 16 to both sides. Now add 16 to both sides. You now have x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals to minus 3 plus 16. Now you remove this minus 8 for easier understanding. There are workings and the explanation behind that, but for now, for better understanding, you just remove this minus 8 and you have x squared and this 16 alone. Now if you remember factorization, now you take this x and this 16. Now this is x minus 4 all raised to power 2. Now this is 16, this is x squared. Now this x squared and this 4 raised to power 2, you now take the power of 2 outside and put this into a bracket, x minus 4 raised to power 2 equals to 13. Now 13 is minus 3 plus 16 give us 13. Now x minus 4, you now root both sides. Now when you root both sides, it take this square and it makes it to be x minus 4, and this is root 13. Now this is x. You now take this minus 4 to this side, you now have x equals to 4 plus or minus root 13. Let's look at more example for better understanding. Let's look at this now.